Hey, what's going on everyone? And thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Justin, and today we're doing a bit of a playoff preview for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I am going on vacation on Thursday, so I'll be away for the end of the regular season and the beginning of the playoffs. I would have really liked to do this video after I have a full idea of whether the Leafs have home ice advantage, who is even going to be their opponent. We don't know at this time, but given where we are today, tonight we're playing Detroit, Friday, we're playing Boston. We only need 1 point between those two games to get home ice advantage clinched. And it's looking very likely that that will be against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I think we'll go under the assumption that the Leafs go into the postseason against Tampa Bay in a 7-game series with home ice advantage being for Toronto. It is a shame that I'll be away for the beginning of the playoffs. I would have really liked to do a playoff bracket. Did one last year. I remember I picked Winnipeg beating Edmonton in the first round. People absolutely hated that. And I heard about it, and then they ended up sweeping them. So really enjoyed that. I would really like to do another playoff bracket, but I don't know if I'll have the chance since I'll be away. So we'll see. But for today, again, a premature preview for the Toronto Maple Leafs postseason. Really difficult for me to understand or think about how I want to go about this. It's been a complicated season, and in a very good way, though. If you go back and watch my videos from the beginning of the season, from the off season after last year's disappointment against Montreal, you would see that I consistently was saying I don't have expectations for this team. I wouldn't allow myself to set any expectations for this team because over the last 6 years, the Leafs have been so fun to watch, so promising, go into the first round just to lose. And not just lose, but in some very, very devastating fashions. I mean, the games against the Boston Bruins, maybe the second time we played them, we were the favorite, but those are games that, or series that, you lose, but that's an incredible team on the other end. Then you go and play Columbus in the bubble and somehow lose to them in 5. And then last year against Montreal, who granted they went to the finals, but we're seeing this year, they're just not the same team. And I know that's largely because of Shea Weber and Carey Price. And there are factors in there, but the Leafs needed to win that series and somehow didn't. So after that, I was firm on, I'm not setting expectations on this team. How do I measure success with this team? Well, it's not going to be based on individual stats, which we've seen the likes of Auston Matthews almost hitting 60 goals. Who knows if he will by the end of the season. Mitch Marner's on the verge of breaking 100 points. Tavares and Nylander are a quiet point per game. Morgan Riley's right up there as one of the top defensive players in the league. We got Mark Giordano on this team. So I've even said, I'm not going to judge it on personal achievements, yet this year it's been so fun to watch those. I said that we're not going to judge the team on regular season success because that doesn't mean anything in the postseason, and we've learned that. But we broke the record for most points, best point percentage, best outcome for a Toronto Maple Leafs season ever in its history, over 100 years. So it's really difficult right now to figure out how I want to evaluate the season and what that kind of has as implications for the postseason. I said, I'm going to judge this season based on how they do in the postseason. But it's hard to just ignore what they've done throughout this year. At the very least, it has been a refreshing mentality that you go day by day, you enjoy the team as they are, you deal with the losses, but just enjoy the wins without any expectation because it's allowed me personally to enjoy the likes of Auston Matthews being upwards of 58 goals in the season. And like I said, Mitch Marner being up there too, Michael Bunting being one of the top rookies. It's allowed me to enjoy that a little bit more, considering the fact that I don't have this pressure in my mind that this team needs to perform in the postseason. I mean, going into the season, I didn't even have them chalked in as an automatic playoff contender. I thought that it was equally as likely that they could have missed the playoffs, considering there's Tampa, there's Florida, there's Boston. I thought Montreal would have a better season. I thought Ottawa would have a better season. So for them to be doing this well is quite a success. But again, what does that mean for the postseason? If I were to make one prediction today, I don't know if I'm going to make a prediction on whether they're going to win or lose. But if I were to make one prediction, I would say that the distinct difference with this year's Toronto Maple Leafs team from what I've seen in the regular season is that if they lose in the first round this year, that it will be due to just getting beat by the other team versus them beating themselves, which in my eyes is what they've done the last few years. This team's obviously got demons in the first round. They even said it in the documentary on Amazon Prime. I forget who it was, but one of the assistant coaches, I think it was Paul McLean, said that this team has demons everywhere they look and they just can't get away from them. And I think that's what's beat them. It's been themselves in the years past. And I don't want people coming at me. Obviously, I acknowledge, like last year against Montreal, Carey Price was absolutely fantastic. Phillip Danault was a huge reason why they shut down that first line, kept Matthews and Marner to only 1 goal combined. So I'll give them credit, obviously, but let's face it, the Leafs did not come out like themselves in the games where it mattered most. And that's been a trend over the last few years. Against Montreal in Columbus, they got shut out in the Game 5 elimination game. 2 years in a row against Boston, they went into the final period with the lead and blew it because they just didn't perform well. And I think that's the team beating themselves because they just have flaws. But more importantly, it's in here, right? They have it in their minds that they're just not capable of winning. This year, the development I've seen from the team, the little pieces that we have around the core, like the David Kampf, like the Michael Bunting, Mikheyev and Engvall really stepping up this year. But obviously the maturity of the players, like Matthews and Marner, you have really, really seen them take a huge step. And obviously they took a step in their stats, in their performance, but I think it goes deeper than that. I think for some reason, something switched in their head and they finally believe in themselves. I mean, we've seen Mitch Marner shoot the puck more this year because he finally believes in his shot. And look at that, he's over a 30-goal scorer. He was almost pushing 40 goals this year. Austin Matthews obviously has always believed in his scoring ability, but now he believes in his ability to be one of the best players, if not the best player in the world right now. And the team really, really is latching on to that confidence. And I think that this team is ready and capable in their mind to say, we can beat anybody in this league. And I fully believe that. I think any opponent in this league, the Leafs are capable of beating in a 7-game series. And them believing in that is a huge step forwards. I think if we end up playing Tampa Bay in the first round and losing to Tampa Bay in the first round, it will be because Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league, has shown that by winning back-to-back Stanley Cups, and will strictly just beat them because they've got excellent goaltending, excellent scoring ability, excellent defensive ability. I mean, there's just no way around it. The Leafs are very capable of it, but again, if the Leafs lose, it's because Tampa beat them and that the Leafs didn't beat themselves. I think that would be a really refreshing thing to see the Leafs come out and play 7 games, hopefully 7 games, or hopefully less if the Leafs win, but you know what I mean, where they actually play a full 60 minutes, seem like they care, no stupid ideas and mistakes like the Galchenyuk giveaway last year or the Dermott giveaway. This Leafs team is ready. Will they win? I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to make a prediction here today because, again, I don't want to set expectation. I will make a prediction, I guess. I've just talked myself into it. This is not an expectation, but I guess I can't leave this video without making a prediction. The Leafs will win. The Leafs will win a playoff series this year. There's just too much evidence of this team having taken that next step that we've been waiting for years. I think in previous years, we've seen the team getting better, but that's just been a product of the same team just going through the process and, you know, players developing in their career and just getting a little bit better each day. But the core of the team, the fabric of the team, the way the team's been built in the past, I don't think just has been capable of pulling out a series win. This year, I'll say it again, the depth and the way the team is constructed with Mark Giordano on a third defensive pairing, with Jack Campbell knowing he's capable of some of the best goaltending in the league, although he's been unsteady at times, he knows he's capable of it. And the forward group, Matthews and Marner being unstoppable, but also depth scoring. I see this team as being capable of beating anybody, and I think they will beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa, it has been inconsistent this year. They've played more games than anybody by far over the last 2 seasons, going to the Stanley Cup final and obviously winning it the last couple of years. But we also have to keep in mind that that's also over a shorter span of time than we've ever seen before because of the COVID shutdown. I think they won 2 Stanley Cups in less than 365 days. That adds up on your body. And I think that might slow them down. Do they have the same drive to compete that they had in the past? Obviously, they're professional athletes and they want to win the cup. There's no reason to ever, take your foot off the gas pedal. But there is something to say about that drive and desire that the Leafs obviously need to have that Tampa might not. So we'll see. My one concern, everybody's talking about the concern being defense or goaltending in this series or any series that the Leafs are in. For me, I maintain the fact that the last few years, the Leafs have lost due to not being able to score, not from defensive or goaltending effort. Even with Frederik Andersen in the net, they did just fine. People shit on Frederik Andersen all the time for not being a playoff performer. The Leafs would have won any one of the last 4 series if they could just score a goal. They really, really would have. Last year, like I said, Matthews and Marner combined for only 1 goal in a series against the Montreal Canadiens. Really? William Nylander stepped up. No John Tavares. There was nobody else, really. I mean, Alex Kerfoot had a really good scoring series, but you need that depth scoring. And what I've been really refreshed with is Ilya Mikheyev's putting the puck in the net, but Pierre Engvall has been fantastic. I did not like the guy at all last year. I thought that he was a liability every time he was on the ice, and now he's, I think, one of the most important players on this team. David Kampf putting up career numbers. Do we get Andrzej Kasha back in the playoffs? Michael Bunting being able to put the puck in the net. Even the fourth line, I mean, he hasn't had the best season this year, but you can't ever just take Jason Spezza out of the conversation. He is a playoff performer. Every year in the playoffs, that guy has been one of our best players, and I would expect the same. But I do hope that we've got depth scoring. If you're going up against the likes of a Victor Hedman and the defensive core of Tampa Bay, and obviously Andrei Vasilevsky, one of the, if not the best goaltender in the game, you need to be able to score. You need depth scoring. Can they pull it out? At the end of the day, I think they'll be able to. They've shown us that they're capable of it. So today, I will make the prediction they get through a round. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Again, nothing's set in stone here. We aren't done the regular season. We still have 2 games to go. Home ice isn't guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that we play Tampa Bay, so still some things to be determined. But given the fact that I'm going away, had to do this a little premature. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really looking forward to this series, whoever it's against. It'll be a lot of fun. Not setting any expectations has been refreshing in my mind. Hopefully that helps you if you have the same mentality. Just go into the series, enjoy watching some playoff Leafs hockey with statistically the best regular season Leafs team that's ever been, ever in history. So enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.